Mecca news, Mecca news, Mecca news. That's the new joint. We out. We rolling out. This joint's about NBA YoungBoy. He left America. Sometimes the demons know your address and it's been following them. So right now, NBA YoungBoy said, I'm out. I'm no longer coming back to the United States. I like where I'm at. I'm going to stay over here in Korea. Now, what do y'all think about that? Put it in the comments. Let me know. But we're going to get into the deep psychological effects on why he decided to leave in the first place from a Unique Mecca Audio standpoint, because I served 26 years in federal prison and I ran the street for about 45 years, really 50 years. So who else better qualified to give it to you than me? Sit back, enjoy the ride. All right? Y'all, you already know we're going to drop a whole lot of jewels today. We in a jewel dropping moment, right? We talk about NBA YoungBoy, how he wound up giving up. But first, we play the news joint so you know what's going on. We're going to keep this moving fast, all right?
And I never told nobody. I just kept doing every show.
NBA YoungBoy is putting down the mic. The rapper opening up about his recent move to South Korea and his struggles with a heart condition during an August 11th appearance on the Open Thoughts podcast.
The doctor told me the left side of my heart was swollen. My heart kind of still is like enlarged on this little side. But that explains the music though, right? She's hurting.
See, what I get from that is he's saying that his music is giving wrong intention and definition and direction from where he's trying to go. In his mind, his music is speaking to his generation to let them know how to move forward and how to better themselves the way he know how to talk to them. Yeah, he may talk about Draco, this and that, but this the language they know how to understand, and we don't understand it. Older brothers listen to NBA YoungBoy and say, what the hell is he talking about? But the younger people understand. That's why he has this following like he has. And we know he's gangster. He check whatever comes his way and so on and so on. So that's what's going on. All right, let's keep this thing moving.
26-year-old also admitting that he is likely stepping away from music in the near future, stating that he is only planning to record 1 or 2 more records, and that he is, quote, going to tour one more time throughout his whole life, and that's it. But if there's one thing NBA YoungBoy is sure about, it's that he will never move back to the United States. The band...
Stop. That's what this video is about him moving back to the United States. Everybody over here, I see... You know, I was just watching a video with a young brother. We were talking about another young brother, name was Chopper, was going at him or something like that. He's trying to get far away and distance himself. See, that's when you have two people having two different conversations. NBA YoungBoy's in his lane over here. Chopper's in his lane over here. Chopper's saying what he want to say in his lane, and NBA YoungBoy is interpreting what he wants to interpret it over here in his lane. So you have two men, two separate lanes. But for some reason, social media seem to try and clash it and intertwine it and make it one. But no, you can't do that. That's what the problem is. I'm going to tap into the deep psychological cell of what NBA YoungBoy is going through, so y'all make sure y'all listen to this. Let's finish this up because we riding.
The artist complimenting his new home, declaring it, quote, very safe and very clean, before explaining that he feels no attachment to the US. He says, I can't be in my home until they give me a visa, right? I don't have a problem with being away. It's nothing there for me at all. The most important thing is my kids. They're there, but that's what they've got planes for.
Right there, that's what they got planes for. See what I'm saying? This is a young man that says, I want no more. I have enough money to separate myself from the drama and the crap that's going on. This is what NBA YoungBoy is saying. Now, check it out. NBA YoungBoy, he left America. Sometimes the demons know your address and they follow you wherever you may choose to go. You can move and still hear old life knocking. Boom, 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 on his door. Now, this is for the young brother. Imagine finally making it. millions of dollars, millions of fans, a house big enough to disappear inside. You leave Baton Rouge, you get all the way to Utah, in the mountains, space, quiet, distance, and somehow trouble still finds your address. That's what this video is about. You could run, but you can't hide from yourself. And if a demon has attached himself to you, he goes with you to North Korea, South Korea, China, Russia, Italy, wherever you choose to go. If you have a demon, not saying that the brother does, but I want y'all to understand the picture that I'm painting, because this Unique Mecca Audio, I'm going to take you deep into my mind, because we like to ride. Now, that's the part of this NBA YoungBoy story that got my attention. Not South Korea, not the money, not the pardon that he got, not the music, the distance that he's trying to put between him and America, him and the trauma that led to the demons that he's trying to escape while everyone else is coming at him. I think they said he made $100 million while he was on house arrest. Could you picture that? 23 years old making $100 million in 1 year while you on house arrest. Because this young man has spent years putting distance between himself and something, some people, problems, cases, environment, maybe pieces of the man he used to be. I can't tell you what's inside his head. I don't know his private thoughts, but I know something about trying to outrun a life that already got inside you, a demon that got inside you. You ever leave the neighborhood and realize the neighborhood left fingerprints on your mind? That's different. I'm talking about a different type of pressure. Young boy came from Baton Rouge. He made enough money to live anywhere he want on the planet Earth. He ended up in Utah for a minute. He thought he was safe. The mountains, the horses, the ranch. He ended up in Utah. And even there, legal trouble came knocking. Boom, 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 boom. Now, here goes halfway around the world. He goes halfway around the world to South Korea. And when they ask whether he's coming back, he answers basically, never. Now, don't hear a travel story. Hear a psychological story. How far does a man have to travel before the old version of himself stops following him? That's the question and the topic of the day. Now, the jewel in this is you can change your zip code overnight. Changing what trauma programmed into you can take years. So when a man keeps creating distance, is he running away or finally trying to survive himself? Do y'all think that NBA YoungBoy is trying to run away from something? Or do you think he's finally trying to survive amongst himself? Now, don't forget what we're doing. We ride. All right, so let's ride. The boy from Baton Rouge never really disappears. See, people look at NBA YoungBoy today and see the superstar. I look backwards because that's where the psychology started. A child grown up in Baton Rouge, raised largely by his grandmother. Father gone into prison for decades. Grandmother dies. Young boy starts having to survive on his own. Juvenile detention, music, street, pain, everything mixing together like a toxic drink. That's where people misunderstand trauma. Trauma doesn't always have you sitting somewhere crying. Sometimes trauma is active. It's fights, it's running. It gets angry, it gets high. It doesn't trust. It reacts before it thinks. it creates a smell. Then everybody starts praising the smell and saying, NBA YoungBoy is the truth. They call that boy fearless, dangerous, real, solid. And nobody asks what happened to him before he needed it. That armor. That's where I come in, because I know what it means for survival habits to become personality. You live a certain way long enough, you stop saying, this is what I learned to do. You start saying, this is who I am. That's dangerous, because behavior can be changed. But when you turn behavior into identity, now changing feels like betraying yourself. And that's what I need the young brothers to understand. The toughest version of you may have been built for an emergency. But what happens when the emergency is over and that version refuses to clock out? Now, the jewel in that, followed by a question. Class, I want to thank you for coming. I'm going to give you all a round of applause. Thank y'all for coming. All right, relax.
Mecca what? Mecca Audio.
All right, we're now in session. Sometimes the personality that saved you at 15 can destroy you at 25. Now, my question to you is, when survival becomes self-destruction, do you stay loyal to the old you or finally let him retire? Somebody let me know what's going on with that. Y'all, hold up, y'all. All right, so the joint clocked out. But see, I answered my phone. We put it on mute. See, I even answered during the show. Dude ain't say nothing, so he can't call back now and say nothing. But check it out. Yo, if you like this content, I want you to share this content, because like I said, I already got the little joint, you know what I mean? You know, they say this don't mean nothing no more. They say what they care about now is the engagement. So you have to put a comment emoji, couple of comments, just say something to keep it going. I guarantee you to respond to all posts. And I'll play some videos at the end. This is what I want you to do. Hold your phone sideways and send in what you get from Unique Mecca Audio. A matter of fact, you know what? Let me hit the, let me show you what I'm talking about, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. All right.
I just want to give a shout out to Unique Mecca Audio. He is so dope. I had the experience of actually meeting him in person. I've been a fan for 2 years, watching his story and watching his videos on YouTube. He is the bomb.com. Harlem, legendary, kingpin, real, official. As soon as I sat down by him, I knew like it was like a different energy, a different vibe. But then once I heard his voice, I'm like, oh my God, is that him? I'm all fanned out. Like, you know, it was such an experience getting the chance to meet him and, you know, being a fan of his YouTube channel and just following him for the last 2 years and knowing his story and seeing his interviews. And I support him 1000%. And I'm subscribed to his YouTube. You should go and subscribe as well. Amazing.
All right, so that's where we at right now, right? So I want y'all to fully understand where we going from here. If you're trying to send a video in, like I said, hold your phone sideways. You know what I mean? Hold the phone sideways like this and let them know what you get from Unique Mecca Audio. We're going to keep it going. But now we're going to ride into the jewel, because that's where we was at. All right, let's get back on point. Now, sometimes the personality that saved you at 15, like I said, can destroy you at 25. When survival becomes self-destruction, do you stay loyal to the old you or finally let it retire? Now, so we're going to talk about Utah was supposed to be a distance from Baton Rouge to put all that behind them, right? Now, this is where this story gets dark to me. Young boy ended up living in Utah while under federal house arrest. His lawyers had argued, right, that putting him there gave him a safer environment from where he grew up. Think about that. Utah, a black man, far away from Baton Rouge, far from familiar blocks, far from some familiar energy. You would think the problem is solved, right? But this is what people who never lived trauma don't really understand. Sometimes you remove the environment, but you haven't removed the conditioning. And eventually, another case happens. Authorities arrest him in Utah in a prescription drug fraud investigation. He later pled guilty, and he served, for several charges. Now I'm not diagnosing him. I'm not telling you why he did anything. I'm looking at the pattern through what I know from my own life. Because I did 26 years in federal prison for running a continual criminal enterprise, which is a drug enterprise selling 330 kilos of crack cocaine in the Tidewater area of Virginia. And I've apologized for that. And that's the first thing, is taking responsibility. And I learned something painful. The cell can remove you from the street. It cannot automatically remove the street from you. You know how they say you can take, you can take a hoe out the street, but you can't make a house. You can't make her a housewife. You know that old saying. That's work, hard work, ugly work. The kind where you have to sit with yourself, no entourage, no music, no people telling you you're right, just you and everything you have done. I've had memories come back years later that haunt the crap out of me. Things I thought I buried. People, choices, pain, my brother, my mother, my streets, my father passing in 1999 while I was in Allenwood Penitentiary. Things I once called strength. Then age changes the picture. Now the same memory looks different. That's why I understand the idea of a man needing distance. But if Utah wasn't enough distance, what exactly are you trying to get away from? What do you think NBA YoungBoy is trying to get away from? That's what I want to know. The demons is on his back. What exactly are you trying to get away from, NBA YoungBoy? That's what I want to know. Now we're going to get into the jewel of that. You can move away from the people who triggered you. You can't buy a plane ticket away from the unhealed mind. So where does the real relocation have to happen? On the map or inside a man's head? And speaking of head, let's ride into the psychological cell. Now I created this. Put in the comments what you think about the psychological cell. I'm gonna take you deep into the psychological mentality of somebody going through this. Now, the psychological cell, when quiet gets loud. I'm talking about 2 a.m, I'm locked in Lum Park Penitentiary. I could hear mouse pissing on cotton and ripping through people's commissary. It sounds so loud. Some people hear it and some people don't. It depends where they at. Here's the part I want these young dudes to feel. Not hear me, feel me. You ever been somewhere so quiet, your memories get loud? That's confinement, that's isolation, that's house arrest, that's a cell. The world thinks you're sitting still. Your mind might be running a marathon around you all night. You start reopening cases the judge never even filed. Why did I go there? Why did I trust them? Why did I answer that? Why didn't I walk away? Why did I need everybody to know my name? Why did I think money made me untouchable? The judge might sentence your body once. Your mind could be riding. Your mind can resentence you every mother effing night. And here's the cold part. Outside, people remember the songs, the shows, the chains, the numbers. The inside, You remember faces, voices, birthdays, arguments, people you haven't touched in years, children getting older, people learning how to live without you. That's when success start looking strange. You can have millions and still be asking somebody else when you could walk outside. No matter how much money you have, you in prison, you have to ask somebody else, can I come outside? Could you imagine that? I don't know whether YoungBoy went through those exact thoughts. I'm telling you what confinement can do to a man's mind. I'm telling you what it did around me. I'm telling you what years of consequences teach after the adrenaline dies. What is that? What is that money worth? What is that $100 million that he made in 1 year worth when he have to live through this? When peace is the one thing you can't purchase. A man can escape poverty and still be in prison by memories. My question to you, class, which cage is harder to open? The one around your body or the one nobody else can see but you at night? A pardon opens the door. It doesn't erase the scars. NBA YoungBoy was so happy to get that pardon. It erased his sentence, but it did not erase the scars left on his mind. Then something happened most people never get. A second chance. YoungBoy received a presidential pardon in 2025, and in his own public statement, he talked about the opportunity to continue building as a man, a father, and an artist. That's heavy, because those three words tell you where the real test begins. Man, father, artist, not inmate, not defendant, not street reputation. But here's what nobody tells you about a second chance. That's scary as a mother. Because now you can't blame the cage. The gate is open. Now what? Every choice belongs to you again. Every phone call, every friendship, every place you go, every emotion you respond to, every person you allow around you. That's where freedom becomes psychological, because prison gives you physical restrictions. Freedom requires internal restrictions. You have to learn to tell yourself no. You have to become your own gate, your own warning sign, your own counselor, your own security system. And that's difficult for a man who spent years reacting to his environment. What happens when nobody is physically stopping you anymore? Can you stop yourself? Now, getting released is an event by itself, right? Learning how to remain free is discipline. And my question to you, class, which one do you think destroys more men? The locked door or the freedom they weren't mentally prepared to manage? And before I go any further, let me say this so you understand, right? These questions that I'm asking you when you see this bell come on the screen, please answer the questions, and this would help you grow as a person. Follow my tutorial. You here following and listening to me. Now, we're gonna ride into why South Korea feels bigger than a move. Now we get to South Korea. YoungBoy says he likes that it's safe, it's clean, and it's out the way. And says he doesn't plan on moving back to America. People are laughing, right? Making jokes, talking about the food, talking about the culture. I'm looking at something different. A man put an ocean between himself and his old environment. That's psychologically interesting to me. What about you? Now, because sometimes you need quiet long enough to hear yourself. Not your crew, not social media, not the neighborhood, not your enemies, not people reminding you who you used to be. You need you. And there's another piece. When you go somewhere where nobody grew up with you, they don't automatically know your old role. They don't remember your old beef. They don't need you to perform the same character you used to perform. Now, let me ride here, right? Let me ride here. I want to switch to the other side. Sometimes that's freedom too much. Being somewhere where nobody's asking you to become yesterday. But let's be clear, South Korea cannot save NBA YoungBoy. Utah couldn't save NBA YoungBoy. Money couldn't save NBA YoungBoy. Pardon by itself can't save him. YoungBoy has to save NBA YoungBoy, NBA YoungBoy, YoungBoy, ABA, you already know what it is. These are my grandkids I'm talking about. Just like Unique had to deal with Unique. Prison couldn't rehabilitate me unless I participated. Education couldn't change me unless I wanted it. Psychology couldn't help me unless I looked honestly at myself. So is leaving America the transformation, or just creating enough space for the transformation to finally happen? What do you think NBA YoungBoy is gonna get out there into in South Korea? Distance can remove temptation. Only discipline can remove the invitation. If the old life called you to borrow, how far would you really have to grow before you stop answering? Now, before we go any further, right, I want to show you why I do what I do too, right? We got to break this up, right?
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express...
Hit the like button, hit the like button, keep it moving, keep it moving. This is why I do what I do.
I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, if, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca Audio, I feel it, and to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year now, mate, and it just took my mind way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago, yeah. And from watching this man, I just felt like you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Love.
All right, so that's what it is, man. Harlem, that's how we do, you know what I mean? Sure, this is why I do what I do. Now we're gonna talk about, you know what I mean? But before we even go any further, I gotta bring my music back in. Y'all like the music lightly in the background? Let's keep this moving. The demons don't ask. They look at you. The demons don't always look like demons either. When I say demons, I'm not talking about some movie. I'm talking about things that haunt the people. Old pain, old habits, old loyalties, old anger, old guilt, old addictions, old pride, old people, old versions of yourself that you can't run away from. No matter how many miles you put between you, whether it's from Baton Rouge to Utah or it's from Utah to South Korea. And that's the dangerous thing. Sometimes The demon looks familiar. It sounds like you. Come hang out. One more time. You change. The act is different. Don't forget where you came from, young brothers. Sometimes remembering where you came from means remembering why you left. I love Harlem. That's part of me. Their history is part of me. I'm a part of the history, but I don't owe my old mindset the rest of my life. That's what people confuse. You can love where you came from without dying there mentally. And it becomes, and if somebody calls growth fake, let them. They ain't serving your sentence. They ain't having your nightmares. They ain't watching your children age. They ain't walking up or waking up with your regrets. Now, why would you like somebody who doesn't carry your trauma decide how you're supposed to heal from it? Why would you let somebody who doesn't carry your trauma decide how you're supposed to heal from it? Tell me that, and I'm gonna share this jewel with you. Some people only recognize you when you're wounded. If healing makes them uncomfortable, is that their problem? Or proof that you finally stopped performing pain for them? Now, you already know we like to ride. I feel like riding tonight. I feel like riding tonight. Let's ride tonight. Let's ride tonight, right? Fatherhood changes the question, right? Fatherhood changes the question. Let me talk to NBA YoungBoy now. And now, he's not just a rapper. He's a father. That's where everything gets heavier. Because once children depend on you, you don't get to make every decision like only your life is at risk. The street taught us my pride, my reputation, my respect, my beef. Fatherhood says, children, different mathematics. One reckless moment. You're not just losing your freedom, you're removing a father. One bad decision. Now somebody else has to explain where daddy went. That hits me different. How do that hit you? Because I know what lost years do. I lost 26 years in federal prison. When I went in, my daughter was 18 months. I came home, she was 27, going on 28. My 30-something-year-old daughter, if I say her age, you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls, y'all gonna ride with it and say, he said, let's do the math. She was about 34. We gonna call her 34. I went in, my daughter was like 7. I came home, she was 34. Y'all do the math on that. She got a granddaughter. The same age I was when I came to this country. The same age she was when I left her. How old was my granddaughter? When I saw my daughter holding my granddaughter's hand, I recognized the child in her hand, but I didn't recognize the woman holding the child's hand because I wasn't there to see that child grow into a woman. Could you imagine what type of psychological pressure that meant to me? Because I know what lost years do. The child doesn't stop growing because you're gone. The calendar doesn't respect your sentence. Your baby becomes a teenager. The teenager becomes an adult. You miss things that nobody can recreate when you come home. That's the part I want these young fathers to understand. How much street credibility is worth missing your child's life? Give me the number. There isn't one. A real father doesn't only provide money. He protects is availability. What good is leaving your children everything if your decisions keep taking you away from them? And already know we riding. Where we at?
Mecca what? Mecca Audio.
Sometimes walking away is the most gangster thing left. Street culture screws us up on one thing. It taught us leaving means fear. To walk away from drama is fear in street culture. Is that right or wrong? Why or why not? Walking away means weakness is what they say. Moving away means you ran. No, sometimes staying is easy. Everybody already knows your role there. Leaving means rebuilding identity. Leaving means being misunderstood. Leaving means people questioning you. Leaving means finding out who loved you and who only loved access to the old you. That's hard. There comes a time, right, in a man's life where he has to choose. Who am I trying to really impress? The people who cheered the old behavior, or the family who has to live with the consequences once I make my decisions? That's the crossroad. I'm not interested in whether YoungBoy looks tough in Korea. I'm interested in what happens next. Does peace become his new addiction? Does discipline become his new code? Does fatherhood become stronger than ego? Does the second chance become a new life? Or simply an intermission in his movie? Because how many second chances does a man expect life to keep giving him is what I'm trying to really find out. Walking away isn't always fair. Sometimes it's finally being afraid of the right thing, losing your future. Now, let me ask you this question, class. When did protecting your life become less respectable than protecting your reputation? Now, this is my last little ride, right? This is my last little ride. I'm gonna ride out. Now I'm gonna take you into Unique's dark truth. I still carry the old me. And I need to tell you something personal, right? Coming home didn't ease me, so you understand. It didn't erase me. 26 years didn't erase everything. Education didn't erase everything. Success didn't erase everything. There are things from my past that still walk through my mind. People, laws, decisions, the code I live by, things I can't undo. That's part of why I sit here doing what I do. This isn't content for me. It's not. Let me find a rapper and teach a little lesson. No, sometimes I'm looking at these young men and I recognize pieces, not the exact story, the mechanism. Pride, trauma, hyper-vigilance, loyalty, the need to survive, the inability to switch survival mode off. And that scares me because I know where that road can end. I've already seen the end. Steel bars, concrete floors and walls, and my bunk was made out of concrete. My bunk is my bed. Could you imagine your bed being made out of concrete and they give you a mattress this thick to put on it? I remember the numbers stenciled on my shirt. People disappearing. Time leaving. That's why I keep coming back. Because if I can get one young brother to feel the end before he reaches it, maybe he changes direction real effing fast. That's the real Unique Mecca Audio. I'm not standing over you. I'm talking back to you from the other side of the consequences. I've been there, seen that, done that. And I'm telling you, don't come over here. Trust me, it ain't worth it. Don't come over here. You know what my psychological trauma is at night when I try and sleep and I wake up from cold sweats from my shirt being soaking wet where you could wring it out like you just put it under the faucet? That's my trauma coming out. The drill in that is experience isn't powerful because it survived it. It's powerful if you don't have to repeat it. If somebody who already walked through the fire tells you what burned him, like I'm doing right now, how much pain do you still need before you believe the stove is mother effing hot? Let's ride. Now I'm gonna give you my final verdict. And the address is not the real change. NBA YoungBoy left Baton Rouge. Ended up in Utah, now he's in South Korea. That's 1,000 miles away, right? But here's the final verdict. Most important distance isn't Baton Rouge to Seoul. It's the distance between who you are and who you're becoming. You can live in Korea and still make Baton Rouge decisions. You can live in a mansion and still have prison thinking. You can be free physically and still be emotionally handcuffed. The people in pain from 20 years ago. That's why this journey interests me so much. Not because he moved, because now we get to find out, did the man move along with him? That's what the next chapter will answer. And young brothers, your life is asking you the same thing. You don't need South Korea. You may need a different block, different friends, different phone numbers, different mindset, different therapists, maybe education, maybe faith, maybe accountability, maybe finally admitting the way I've been living is killing me. That's not weakness, that's awakening. Because the worst prison isn't always 80X Supermax. The feds tell you that the worst prison is 80X Supermax. I survived 5 years there, 23 hours a day lockdown, 5 days a week, 24 hours a day lockdown for the 2 days on the weekends, any holidays, and any day the major prison is locked down. So that's most of the year. Sometimes it's being trapped inside a version of yourself that you've already outgrown, but you're too proud to leave. So what do you hold on? What are you holding on to right now that your future is begging you to walk away from? That's what I want to know right now. And the jewel in that is changing your address can give you distance. Changing your mind gives you a future. If life handed you one clean second chance today, who, what, or which version of yourself would you finally have the courage to leave behind? Is what I want you to put in the comments. If life handed you one clean second chance today, who and what or which version of yourself would you finally have the courage to leave behind? The streets are real, but prison is realer. And sometimes the first prison you have to escape is the one still living inside your head. The factual spine is the... let me show you how I do this again. I don't know. But like I said, if y'all trying to send a video, hold the phone like this, man. You know, let me show you another joint real quick, right? Let me show you another joint. Who I want to show you real quick. Show the ... I want to say rest in peace to Rudy Williams. I want to say rest in peace.
Throw that to Unique Mecca Audio.
Nah, it was my man Rudy. Tune in to Unique Mecca Audio, man.
Out here, my man Prince. Man, Unique, a whole bunch of other legendary gangsters and all. For anybody that want to know what it's like to be in prison, never been in prison, tune into Unique Mecca Audio.
Yes, sir.
We got the real story.
Ain't no question.
All right.
The energy is proper.
All right, see, that's where we at, right? So you understand, that's where we at. That brother I just showed you, Rudy Williams, that was speaking in the white tuxedo, that was one of the brothers that was charged with the first kingpin charge in Baltimore. The first super kingpin charge, let me get that right. The first super kingpin charge, and that was Prince with him. You know, I showed you Murder Moot. You know, I got some other videos I got last night. I got Jim Ice. Y'all know Jim Ice from 12th Street. If you don't know who he is, you better ask somebody. But these are names that you're not going to see nowhere else but here at Unique Mecca Audio. All right? Now, we've been on here long enough. I'm about to tap out. Let me see who I'm going to show you right now. Right now, I want to take you on a ride, and I'm going to show you rah-rah.
Let's go. Hey, yo, tune in to Mecca Audio, man. Unique, man. Listen, man. I'm a young OG. I knew him since I was young. I used to be in Mecca Audio Studios. Great, man. I'm Rah from Tupac Me Against the World album. You can check my credentials. This is a good man, real man. Mecca Audio. I've been on this, man, since I was a little young lad, man. Before Tupac album, before I even did the outlaw shit and all that, man. Holla at me, man. And tune in to Mecca Audio Unique, man. Holla at us, man.
What's going on, people? What's going on, man? You got your boy Lodestone out here in Harlem. I'm from the BX. I'm with Unique Mecca Audio. You know what I'm saying? It's a good vibe with the OG. I advise everybody, if you want to hear real spill, real shit, no cap, tune in. Tune in and hear what the OG got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna give you all the truth, man. He's gonna give you that real shit, man.
Hi, I watch Unique Mecca's YouTube, and it's amazing. Like, his whole story is so nostalgic. It's so like Harlem. It's so like 1980s. It's so 1999. I've been watching his channel for about 2 years, and it's very informative and it's real. You know, you don't really get the real deal from everybody, but with him, you definitely gonna get the whole real story. This is a Harlem legend, kingpin, legendary. I'm so happy to just even meet him and be in his presence. Like, his channel is very informal, and if you subscribe, you're gonna be just like me, a fan.
All right.
I'm like, oh my God, is that him? I'm all fanned out. Like, you know, it was such an experience getting the chance to meet him and, you know, being a fan of his YouTube channel and just following him for the last 2 years and knowing his story and seeing his interviews. And I support him 1000%. And I'm subscribed to his YouTube. You should go and subscribe as well. Amazing. History, how hard it is to be in jail, the right and wrong moves to make when you outside, how one wrong move will cost you a whole lot, to be better, to do better, a lot of stuff. You'll get a lot of stuff from his channel. You know, it's very informal, and you know, whatever that means to you, you'll definitely take a piece with you. Like, this is a good YouTube channel, honestly.
So who's going where they can find you?
Okay, I'm Cora. You can find me at Instagram on Why Hate on Her, and yeah.
Here with the OGs, you already know. Unique Mecca Audio. If you ain't tapped into Unique Mecca Audio, I don't know what you tapped into. I'm talking about real streets. I'm talking about real entertainment. I'm talking about real YouTubing, real getting to that bag. But I'm talking about a real OG that changed their life, yo. I changed my life the same way. And real OGs like that push me further to change my life. You hear me? Come look. Look what's going on out here. This Harlem. I'm a Brooklyn boy. So I only tap in with OGs like Mecca, man. Because I'm telling you, if you're not tapped into Unique Mecca Audio, I don't know what you're doing, man. Show them the scene, OG. They playing themselves. Congratulations, you played yourself. Unique Mecca Audio. Make sure y'all tap in, man. I'm telling you. Real time.
What's good, y'all? This New York Chuck. Yeah, and this Erupt One. Yo, you know, we just here, we out here in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? We out here, you know, rock birthday party. You know, but this party right here brought out a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And one of the people that this party brought out was like a cornerstone in Harlem, like, you know, I'm talking about with the music, getting money, doing all, and, you know, actually, like a lot of us, we took a page out of his book, you know, to get where we became in life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna shout my guy out. Shout out to Unique Mecca Audio. You know what I'm saying? He bring y'all real street knowledge. He got all the gangsters on his pod. We Harlem, we the streets. You know what I'm saying? Tune in to Mecca Audio TV, man.
No
on
doubt,
YouTube.
no doubt.
On God, yo. One love for Unique, man. We love
Shout
you,
out
bro.
to Harlem, shout out to Jersey.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Make sure you cop the book of Raw and Harlem at rawandharlem.com. If you want to send your videos in to get it aired on Unique Mecca Audio, hold your phone like this, send it to the number on the screen. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops. Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. Baby horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the. Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. Baby horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the